Hello, my name's Leslie Barnhill and I'm the Mesquite ISD Planetarium Facilitator. I hope you were able to follow along with the Fulldome movie that was given to you on the link on Peach Jar of Piano Under the Stars. I hope you were able to follow along, and thank you for all of you who gave your comments on Twitter as we were watching the movie together. I know this is not the best way to see a full dome picture, but this is the second best way I have found. And I hope you enjoy this version of our spring star party. But I wanted to go ahead and give you a tour of the night sky. And some of the objects that you saw in the full dome video are actually you can see in the sky tonight. So as you can see, the sun is just setting. The time is going to be up in the upper left-hand corner, and we're going to see some of the objects that you might see in the sky tonight. First one is a very familiar one to us all, and it is the moon. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the moon. Now, the moon phase tonight is known as a waxing gibbous, which means the light is going to be on the right side, and the side facing us, more than half of it is illuminated, so that's why it is a gibbous. And here is our waxing gibbous of our moon. So let's go back to our night sky. And every time we come back, I'm going to have to readjust, but it won't take too long. And we're going to go ahead and move forward. Now, we saw one star at the very beginning of that full dome video, and we're going to talk about that right off the bat, or actually take a look at it right off the bat, and it is Arcturus. And we're not necessarily going to talk about Arcturus, but Arcturus is the star, one of the main stars in the constellation Bootes. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it down a little bit, and let's go ahead and take a look at Bootes. I'll go ahead and show you the picture of Bootes, and as you can see, he is a farmer, and every farmer must have at least 2 dogs. So here are his 2 dogs. And these 2 constellations are next to one of the most famous constellations we all know, which is Ursa Major. So I hope you can all see Ursa Major. Coming back to our night sky, it's getting close to midnight. And another object we saw in the movie was a nebula. And there are quite a few nebulas you can see in the sky, but one that is in the sky tonight is NGC 4361. And if you were able to look at this nebula with an infrared telescope, this is what it would look like. This is a planetary nebula, and which just means that a medium-sized star at the end of its life is going to turn into something like this. Alrighty. So, as time goes by through our evening, some of you are night owls and you might be able to look outside. There are 2 planets that we saw in the movie tonight. There are 2 kind of famous planets. We talk a lot about these 2 planets. The first one that we're going to see in the sky just so happens to be our largest planet in our solar system, which is Jupiter. It is a gas giant, but it has many, many moons around it. So let's go ahead and take a look at Jupiter up close. It's always fun doing a zoom to these planets. We can see a lot of other objects in the sky. Here's Jupiter. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see Jupiter rotate. Now, although it looks solid, it is a gas giant. And in the movie, you saw some objects orbiting Jupiter. Now, Jupiter has a lot of moons, but the objects you saw were known as the Galilean moons, which these moons are the closest to Jupiter. And they were first observed by Galileo Galilei. And I've got their orbits showing up here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back so you can see all of the moons. There you go. This is all happening as we speak, or in a couple hours of now. So now the next planet we saw was Mars. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mars. Now, Jupiter was a gas giant. Mars is the fourth of the 4 small rocky planets, which means they are actually solid. It is one of our neighboring planets. And here it is. So let's go ahead and put it right side up. And now Mars has a couple moons, not nearly as many as Jupiter, but Mars has has 2. They are Phobos and Deimos. So Phobos is the one closest to Mars, and that's the one you saw actually in the movie, and Deimos is further away. Let's come back to our night sky. Readjust. You can see Jupiter and Mars. This is the dots that you're going to see at about 5:15 tomorrow morning. And this dot in the middle, that's actually Saturn. So there is another planet you can see in the sky. All right, now, since it's close to the morning, I'm just going to go ahead and end this show by showing you all of the constellations, because it's always so much fun. And I'm going to go ahead and push time forward so you can see them. Now we have 88 constellations that surround Earth, and we can see, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we see about half of them, but you can see them day and night. As you can see the sun rising, the constellations are still out. We don't see the constellations or the stars during the day because the sun is so bright that it outshines them. Now this whole night's tour of the night sky, we were actually facing south. Let's go ahead and face north. Because there are constellations in the northern sky, it's kind of hard to show you all of them on a flat screen like this. So I'm just going to show you here are the northern constellations. I'm going to go ahead and speed up time because it's easier to see these constellations in the night. And it looks like everything's moving around, and that's just kind of because we've turned our frame of reference. We were facing one way, now we're facing another way. I really appreciate you guys following along on the video and on this tour of the night sky. Like I said, this isn't the most ideal way to have a star party, but it's the second best way that I have found that I can come to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, my name is Leslie Barnhill, and I'm at the Mesquite ISD Planetarium. If you have any questions or suggestions, please reach me at the MISD Planetarium Twitter site or my email, which is lbarnhill@mesquiteisd.org. Thank you.